Hello, Kentucky friends. Mark Pope gives an update on Jayden Quaintance. Have you heard the news? We'll be evaluating it. But first, subscribe to the channel to receive more news from the Wildcats. Speaking of Jayden Quaintance, the center, whose journey to Lexington was marked by physical challenges and crucial decisions, emerges not only as a symbol of renewal, but as a central piece in Pope's plan to return the Wildcats to the top of college basketball. In a revealing interview with CBS Sports' Matt Norlander, Pope opened up about the current state of his team and, more specifically, about Quaintance's recovery process. The coach, known for his communicative and reflective style, used simple and personal metaphors to explain the importance of managing expectations around the young center. By comparing Quaintance's situation to his own experience of failing a driver's test for running over a cone, Pope brought lightheartedness to the matter, but also reinforced the seriousness of the moment. The message is clear. Rushing the return of a player with Quaintance's physique and aggressive style would be an unforgivable mistake. Quaintance, who had initially committed to Kentucky under John Calipari, ultimately opted to play his first college season at Arizona State. However, his time with the Sun Devils was abruptly cut short by a torn anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, in a match against Kansas State. The injury, which could have been a devastating blow to any young athlete, appears to have further shaped Quaintance's resilient mindset. Over the summer, he reflected on the moment of the accident with impressive maturity, acknowledging that, at the time, his priority was to return to the game without fully understanding the gravity of the situation. Now, however, he is focused on overcoming each stage of the recovery process with unwavering determination. Quaintance's return to Kentucky through the transfer portal was seen as a triumph for Pope and his staff. Projected as a first-round pick in several early NBA draft mocks, the center brings with him a rare combination of physical strength, athleticism, and defensive instincts. His ability to change the course of games with intimidating blocks was already evident in his high school and early college performances. At 16, he was already one of the top shot blockers in the country, a feat that speaks volumes about his potential. However, Pope knows that all this talent will only be fully utilized if Quaintance is fully recovered. The coach has been emphatic in emphasizing the need for patience. "This guy is a physical specimen like you've never seen before," Pope said, referring to Quaintance's physical imposition on the court. "But playing basketball for him means running over everyone. It's very important that he recovers fully. It's going to take a while." This statement reflects not only concern for the athlete's well-being, but also a long-term strategic vision. Pope understands that Kentucky's success cannot be measured solely by the next few weeks or months, but by its ability to build a competitive and healthy team to face an extremely challenging schedule. And what a schedule it is! The Wildcats will face some of the best programs in the country before even entering the ever-competitive Southeastern Conference, SEC. Games against Purdue, Georgetown, Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, and St. John's comprise a stretch of matches that will test the squad in every aspect. These matchups, many of them held on iconic stages like Madison Square Garden, represent valuable opportunities to assess the team's progress and adjust the plan as needed. When asked if Quaintance could be on the court as early as late November, Pope responded with a laconic maybe, making it clear that the decision will depend solely on the player's physical condition. Despite uncertainty about when exactly Quaintance will make his debut, Pope assured fans that he will be present at some point this season. "I have every expectation that he will play this season," he said. "I don't think he will play every game, but we'll see." The coach also highlighted the significant progress the center has made in recent weeks, especially in strength training, a crucial phase in ensuring his knee is ready to withstand the impact of games. A new 2026 NBA draft mock-up published by Bleacher Report reinforces this reputation by highlighting two Wildcats among the picks, a reflection not only of the player's individual talent, but also of the program's ability to mold league-ready prospects. Bleacher Report analyst Jonathan Wasserman has positioned Jayden Quaintance fourth overall, a projection that reflects both the center's impressive potential and the uncertainty surrounding him. Quaintance's ACL tear in early 2025 is a factor that looms large over his projections, but it doesn't appear to have shaken observers' confidence in his bright future. Quaintance would be a lottery prospect in June even if he didn't play for Kentucky, wrote Wasserman, emphasizing the player's uniqueness. At just 19 years old until the 2026 draft, Quaintance is one of the youngest prospects in his class, and his combination of physical tools, defensive instincts, and developing offensive skills is drawing widespread interest. However, Wasserman's analysis strikes a cautious tone, especially when mentioning that the growing influence of the NIL has reduced the rush for some prospects to enter the NBA. This shift in the college landscape could mean that Quaintance chooses to stay longer at Kentucky, refining his game before making the leap to the professional game. While he still needs to improve in areas like shooting range and playmaking in the half court, he already demonstrates the necessary characteristics to make an immediate impact in the league, whether as a finisher near the basket or as an intimidating presence on defense. Besides Quaintance, another name that appears in the mock draft is Jasper Johnson, the Wildcats rookie point guard who is projected to be selected in the second round at number 39. Wasserman describes Johnson as a player with potent shooting and touchability, highlighting his confidence and high pace on the court. However, questions about his physicality may raise questions among scouts about his ability to sustain himself as a scoring point guard in the NBA. Even so, Johnson has every opportunity to prove himself throughout his rookie season, especially at a program like Kentucky, which offers maximum exposure and opportunities to shine. The recognition of Quaintance and Johnson in the 2026 mock draft is just another chapter in Kentucky's long history of success in the NBA draft. Since 2010, no college program has produced more picks than the Wildcats, with an impressive 51 players selected. The 67 players selected since 1989, when the NBA adopted the two-round format, is another record that places Kentucky in a league of its own. Furthermore, the streak of 18 consecutive drafts with at least one player selected and 16 with multiple picks demonstrates the program's consistency in producing high-level talent. Pope left a mark. In 2025, he saw Kobe Brea and Amari Williams selected in the second round of the draft, marking his first NBA picks as a coach. Wasserman's projection for 2026 indicates that Pope is on track to continue this tradition, even with the changing landscape of college basketball. Another interesting point is the comparison with a recent ESPN mock draft, which placed Quaintance at 6th overall and Cam Williams, a power forward who transferred from Tulane, at 46th. These varying projections reflect the dynamism of the draft and the ability of different analysts to see potential path for players. For Cam Williams, for example, his versatility and prior experience at Tulane could be crucial factors in attracting franchise interest in the second round. Kentucky's strength in recruiting and player development is evident not only in the numbers, but also in how the program adapts to the new realities of college basketball. The NIL era has brought new dynamics, allowing players like Quaintance and Johnson to maximize their value before entering the NBA. This, combined with the expertise of Mark Pope and his staff, creates an environment conducive to these athletes flourishing in both the short and long term. As fans eagerly await the prospects for Quaintance and Johnson, the 2026 draft projections serve as a reminder of Kentucky basketball's power to attract and develop players. Leave your comments.